cramps in your body, and then you're ready to get going. Well, like I said earlier, we are now in our health segment, and I would like to say that most likely you or somebody you know has allergies. The usual reaction manifesting as itchy, puffy, watery eyes, and red, stuffy nose signal changes in the seasons in the homes and workplaces across wherever you are. Anyone experiencing these symptoms may likely be suffering from allergic rhinitis, that's a scientific term, or hay fever. Hay fever, therefore, is your immune system response to foreign material in the air you breathe. Hay fever usually refers to allergies to outdoor airborne materials such as pollens and molds. Hay fever is found equally in both men and women. Usually, hay fever is seasonal, but it can last the whole year long if the allergen stays throughout the year. Now, spring and fall are the main hay fever seasons. Now, we will be speaking about hay fever, allergies in general, but we'll touch perhaps a lot on hay fever. Now, my guest this morning is no other than Dr. F. Ogbuli, Francis Ogbuli. He's been a regular guest on our program. I would like to say welcome and good morning, Dr. Ogbuli.
Thank you very much.
Now, what is an allergy and how? Well, give us first of all the explanation and definition of what an allergy is.
Now, let me start by giving the basics.
Yeah.
The immune system is the system of the body that helps to defend an individual.
Yeah.
And it contains a cascade of complex structures and cells that work together in a very, very organized way.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes they are over enthusiastic.
You mean the cells which fight against?
Yes. The cells that help to fight infections, help to take away cancer cells from the body.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are over enthusiastic in their work, and they cause a disorder.
Really?
Now, when that disorder involves hypersensitivity to things that are ordinarily occurring in the environment, we call that an allergy.
Oh, so that's what's really happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So they get overexcited. They want to protect the body.
Yeah. When your immune system begins to react to stuff that ordinarily are not harmful and they exist in the environment, we consider that as allergy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, there's this, or shall I say, let me put it this way. What kind of things trigger this sort of overreaction in the body's immune system?
What triggers them?
Is it every kind of thing that enters the system, that enters the body's system, that the body tries to fight off that way, or only some specific things do cause this allergic reaction in the body?
Basic to know, anything that enters your body that is foreign to you, your body always recognizes it as foreign and tries to analyze it and get rid of it or learn to cohabit with it.
Interesting.
But sometimes, and in the case of allergies, that the substances like pollen that we find in the air at certain times of the year, from the grass or from trees, certain food substances, like sometimes you hear people eat nuts, like binders, and they get reactions from it. That is also a sort of allergy. But they react in such a way that your body has kept a memory of those things in your system.
Wow.
So each time you come in contact with those things after the initial sensitization, your body reacts and produces what we call an inflammatory reaction.
Oh, so if I may just come here, I recall, let me use myself as an example. When I first began to drink the kind of milk we have here, I mean skim milk, the one in the liquid, or the one the fresh milk. At first, I had a lot of like gastroenteritis. I'm sure most people have, because they say some people are intolerant to milk or something like that. There's a term they have for that.
These are two things we need to distinguish.
So why I brought this inference is that the body system maybe didn't adjust to that at that time, so it began to fight against it, sort of.
There are.
Is that similar here?
They may look similar, but let me draw a line between what we call lactose intolerance and what we call milk allergy. There's a lot of protein in cow milk. And those proteins, sometimes children tend to be sensitive to them.
I see.
Soya milk, let me see. Under food cell allergy, let me look at the statistics in the Netherlands. Cow milk allergy, about 10% of children have cow milk allergy.
Okay.
That allergy is related to the allergy as the what we have in hay fever or pinna allergy.
Okay.
But there is an adaptation to people of Northern European origin that have they drink milk on a regular basis, and they have an enzyme called lactase. Lactase helps to digest milk proteins.
Right.
A lot of us from Africa lack this enzyme called lactase. And milk contains a lot of lactose sugar. Now, in the process, when we come in contact with the milk, we are unable to digest it because we lack the lactase enzyme. So the milk stays in the stomach and causes things like abdominal discomfort, diarrhea, bloated sensation. And each time, people would relate that each time I drink milk, I get this. So that's lactase lactose intolerance due to absence of lactase enzyme. It's a deficiency problem. It's not an allergy problem.
Okay. So some people can develop this lactase enzyme along the line, because I don't have that no more. So I believe other people to get. So you may say the body system has learned to cohabit or to
cohabit. But there are also milk that can be produced that contains this enzyme. Or there are milk from other extracts like soya milk that have less of lactose. Or have the enzymes to digest lactose. So the problem is gradually being solved by the food industry.
Okay, awesome. Now, back to what we were talking about. Now, the way allergy happens in the body, can you use that to explain why people get hay fever at this time of year?
Well, the substances that people are allergic to, they are sometimes present the whole year in the environment. We talk about the house stuff mite. Or people who are allergic to dust. You see some people when they want to vacuum, suddenly they start to sneeze, they get red, itchy eyes. So there's dust in the environment. So they get problem all through the year. But there are seasons when the grasses begin to bloom. A lot of pollen is in the air. And there are people who are sensitive to these airborne particles. And these airborne particles come in contact with your eyes. You breathe them in, they get to the nerves. You breathe them in, they get to the lungs. Or you come in contact with these things on your skin. For instance, some people with pinna allergies, they get eczema and itchy flarings on the
when
skin.
they eat the peanuts,
when they eat them. And there are some substances when they get on your skin, they cause you to have a contact allergy. So depending on the time when there's a lot of these substances in the air, and depending on your exposure to them, you can develop reactions to those things during that season.
So people's reaction to these allergies, is it like, does it vary in everybody? okay, I know the obvious answer, but if the body system is groomed or is designed to fight these things, is it that it just stays that way, or sometimes it can learn to cope with it or overcome it? Because I know some people, no matter what, every year, they get this kind of allergy.
Yeah.
So what could be happening to them?
Well, the other thing that is happening is that when an individual develops sensitivity to a particular substance,
yeah,
and those substances, if they are in the air,
yeah,
in the summer period, that's when you get exposed to it. That's when you get a reaction to it.
Yeah.
If those things live in your house with you,
yeah,
you get a reaction to them almost all through the year. If it's things that when you get exposed to them, like food allergies,
yes,
you drink milk, or like the children, or you eat nuts or peanuts, you can get allergy to them at the times of exposure.
Yes.
That's why there seems to be a pattern in the manifestation of the allergy systems.
Okay.
Yeah. But basically, the immune system is there to protect, and they work on the basis of identifying a substance that we come in contact with,
yeah,
analyzing if they are foreign to us,
yes,
and mounting up a cascade of reactions.
Yes.
First, they develop some cells, and those cells can store the memory of that particular substance. But next time we get exposed to those substances, those memory cells are triggered by the immune system, because they recognize that whatever you were coming in contact with is foreign to you, and we have to get rid of it.
Wow.
So the body mounts up a reaction through sets of chemicals we call interleukins, cytokine, prostaglandins. You can forget those names, but your body is trying to protect you in its understanding.
Wow.
Okay.
And it mounts up a reaction which we call inflammation. And inflammation is nothing but a body's reaction to the presence of injury.
It's just a signal that something is wrong. It's a warning sign.
It's a defense mechanism that says, I'm going to shield off anything that is foreign. And I'm going to shield it off at the local points where I'm sensitive to them.
Okay.
So you are reacting from the eye, and the things that you actually feel are what your body is mounting up to defend you from the presence of the foreign body. And those foreign bodies can be grass pollen, tree pollen, that comes at various times of the year.
Shall we focus then on hay fever, just to bring it home and help our listeners to relate to it more? But along the line, of course, feel free to mention other allergies which you might be of interest, or related to this topic. So what are the symptoms of hay fever, and who can be prone to it? What are the symptoms?
Well, the symptoms of hay fever, let's look at it from various body parts. Hay fever will occur seasonally, and they will occur at points when the things that you are allergic to are present in the air. For instance, your nose. If your nose is the focus point, you get swelling of the lining of the nose. The nose gets stuffy, and it runs.
So that means if you breathe in, let's say, if you're allergic to, hay fever is caused by pollen. Does also cause that?
The dust can cause that. Stuff from animals like cats and dogs. The skin, you can be allergic to the protein in the skin of cats and dogs. Fungi in the air, molds in the house. You can be allergic to them. House stuff mites. There are animals, very microscopic, that live in the bed things, and they they lay down their eggs, they grow there, and they have their droppings there.
Where?
In the mattresses.
The beds we lie on.
In the mattresses we live in.
Wow.
The beds we lie on. There are stuff that. Okay.
Yeah. We are not.
You mean the kind of beds we have in Africa here? Because in Africa we have some beds.
How stuff might. They are very microscopic insects, like kind of things.
Right.
And they are able to grow and live in the mattresses.
Mm.
Now, we are not allergic to the animals themselves, but to their droppings.
Oh.
And they contain protein-like substances.
Mm-hmm.
And if they are present all through the year, they will cause us to have problem all through the year. We also have grass that bloom towards the summertime.
Yes.
And we also have trees that release their pollen in the air when they start to bloom. The weather gets good, people get itchy eyes and running noses. Okay. So that's what you get in the nose. In the eyes, you get redness, you get itching. We call that allergic conjunctivitis. When it's the nose, we call it allergic rhinitis.
Okay.
On the airways, in the airways, we're looking at the lungs.
Yeah.
That's why allergy has a close relationship with asthma being exacerbated or causing people to have asthma attacks.
Okay.
You get people having sneezing, coughing, they get to wheeze, they get short of breath, because when they come in contact with these allergies, their airways swell. The lining of the airways swell, the muscles constrict, so the air passages that are supposed to be open to let air go in and go out easily, they are narrow. Okay. And they cause people who have the tendency or who have hypersensitive airways, asthma, to develop this type of reactions.
Right.
The ears, we have people who feel fullness in the ears and possibly pain, because the ear, the inner part of the ear, opens into the inner part of the airways, called the pharynx. Some, if you remember in biology, they called it the eustachian tube. If it is blocked due to the swelling of the linings, you will have pain in the ears.
As well.
So it can come in the ear. In the skin, you may have rashes. You may have things like eczema or urticaria. And of course, in the gastrointestinal tract, that's in the intestine, you may have things like pain, you may have things like bloated sensation, vomiting, and diarrhea. You did mention earlier a lot of gastroenteritis. Now, vomiting and diarrhea could be a reaction, especially in children. That's where you get on all the body systems. It doesn't occur all the time, or in, like, people have places where they have a predilection. So they either have eye manifestations, nose manifestations, ears, or the lungs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, I would like to, if you're listening to this program and you have a question regarding any of these things we're talking about, the allergies, maybe you have a particular allergy or reaction you can explain, well, you don't have to go to the house at this moment. You may, of course, go, but you can call right into the studio, 0207371619, and Dr. Ogbuli might be able to answer your question or recommend what you need to do. Maybe you have lived with this thing for a while and you've not been able to figure out what it is. You can ask the question. You can call in and ask the question. Okay. So as we proceed, feel free to give us a call. Okay. Now, is there a difference between an allergy and a cold? How will somebody know whether he or she has an allergy as opposed to just a regular common cold?
A common cold has to do with what we generally call catarrh.
Catarrh. There's a blocked nose you can't breathe well.
Yes. It's caused mainly often by a virus, a group of viruses that we call the adenoviruses.
Okay.
It's not someone that you notice a pattern in. You may get cold once in a while, but your nose runs, it may be blocked. when a person has allergy,
yeah,
the nose is stuffy.
Yeah.
May not always run, but it's stuffy. You may get the rhinorrhea, the discharges.
Yes.
It is not always blocked, but you get sometimes itchy. You notice people go like this when they have allergic rhinitis.
Yes.
Because there is some itching related to them.
Wow.
But it is the seasonal pattern of allergy that makes it different.
Okay, from the cold.
From the cold.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Well, are there any other allergies which you may want to mention which relates to the one we're talking about right now, the hay fever type? Are there other kinds of allergies you might want to quickly mention?
Okay. The hay fever type, the allergies in the air.
Yeah.
That's what we see manifest as hay fever.
Yes.
And hay fever is with regards to the nose.
Yes.
We call it allergic rhinitis.
Yes.
When it occurs in the eye, we call it allergic conjunctivitis.
Okay.
And sometimes they occur together, and then we refer to them as rhinoconjunctivitis. But we also have the airway.
Yeah.
Airways, especially in the lungs. We have people who have allergic predisposition, and when they come in contact with this type of allergies, it leads to an asthma attack or an asthma type attack.
Yes.
So they get an asthma. A lot in children. About 4 to 7% of school-going children in the Netherlands have this type of reactions, asthma-like attacks. But there's also the allergy that is related to food.
Yes.
And in Dutch, we call them the food cell allergies.
Yes.
Yeah. And those are allergies that we have related to stuff like pinda or nuts, soya, tau. Tau is we use a lot to make bread.
Yes.
Yeah. Cow milk and milk in egg, not in the yolk itself, but in the white part of the in the eggs. And then we have people who are allergic to stuff like fish.
Yes.
Or shell animals from the sea.
Okay.
They said, I don't eat seafood.
So how would you recognize that they're having an allergic attack? Is it allergic reaction? Is it by if somebody eats fish that maybe he or she is allergic to? How would the person react? And then the person knows that okay, this could be an allergen.
They may start to itch.
Itch.
Yeah.
What,
the skin.
In the skin.
Skin. Yeah. They may notice flaring and what we call urticaria.
Yeah.
They are localized.
Yeah.
Itching and swollen parts of the skin.
Okay.
If you notice that each time you eat shellfish or sea products, that you get those things, and you know that you are allergic to those particular things.
Okay. So generally speaking, allergic reactions manifest like itching and swelling in certain unexpected swellings in certain parts of the body.
Yeah. Well, you don't expect it, but your body system knows and recognizes those things. So it's got pre-programmed systems that respond each time you are exposed to particular proteins in those food substances. So they react. Your body triggers and manifests itself.
Wow. It's amazing. The body is so well designed.
It is.
It's a glorious machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Highly gadget, with intelligence.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Oh, awesome. Okay, so now with those who have this allergic reaction, at what times of the day do they experience the condition the most? I mean, does it get worse at a certain time of the day? How people got to be a bit more observant or know what's happened to them. So do they get worse at a certain time of the day?
More at certain times of the year.
Let me take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Grace.
Okay.
And, I'm wishing you a very good morning and thank you for the program.
Yes, madam.
Also, problem if I can contact people, they have maybe a very high person or street, then all of a sudden I lost my voice. So I like to know what is the cause of it.
Yeah, hold on. Did you understand the question, doctor? Okay. Okay, go ahead.
If I understand properly, you said you came in contact with people who have certain airway symptoms and suddenly you lost your voice.
Yeah, with a high spray or a person.
Okay.
Okay. Those are type of allergies. There are people who are allergic to perfumes. They can't. Yeah. And if your airways would swell, and if your vocal cords would also be involved in the allergy, you will get what we call loss of voice. In Dutch, we say it's Heesheid. You lose your voice. It's a form of allergy. But you can also get this type of reaction if you have an upper respiratory tract infection. But if you notice that there is a repetitive pattern of when you get exposed to particular perfumes that you lose your voice, then it is an allergy.
So what is she supposed to do?
Avoid perfumes that you're allergic to.
Okay, so she must take notice of which kind of perfumes
Yes.
produce that sort of reaction.
Yes.
Now the question is there something in the perfumes we thank you, Sister Grace. Keep listening. I hope your question has been answered.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Something like lemon or what, so it means I'm allergic to some certain things. So I very appreciate you with your program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome.
God bless you. Yeah. Now, what she has said, is it very peculiar or it's pretty common that people get allergic to certain types of fragrances or odors?
It's pretty common. We need to, each person would eventually get to know what he or she is allergic to. Out of our own personal observations, we can be able to decipher things that we don't want to come in contact with and things that we are comfortable with.
Okay, you're done. Now, are allergic reactions genetically transferred? I mean, like, can somebody inherit another person's allergy? Maybe my mother, let's assume my mother is allergic to goats, to cats or dogs. Can I inherit the same thing from her?
What we see in our observations is that allergic diseases are strongly familial.
Okay.
In other words, if you have two identical twins,
yes,
they have 70% chance of becoming allergic to the same substances. If they are unidentical twins, they have 40% chance of becoming allergic to the same things.
Okay.
But observation shows that genetically, we may have the predisposition to be allergic to certain things, but that we do not always become allergic to a particular things that our parents are allergic to. So we inherit that genetic tendency, but my father may be allergic to grass pollen. I may end up being allergic to just pinder. So it's just the basis that is there.
Okay.
And you have more people with allergens in the family having children who are allergic to certain things.
Yes.
And you may have that someone who is from parents who are allergic compared to parents who are not allergic being more, showing more tendencies, much more than somebody who is not from parents who show certain degrees of allergy. It doesn't mean that if your parents don't have allergy that you may not develop one. It takes you being exposed to what is on your genetic package for you to develop an allergy.
Okay, so can some people develop allergies based on, let's say, the environment or the location they happen to be? If somebody is somewhere, didn't have allergy, necessarily transfers or moves to another location, another country, another place, and suddenly begin to notice that he or she has allergy. So it's an the environment a factor here.
The environment has a significant effect. We see allergy disease being more common in industrialized countries more than in the traditional or agricultural countries.
Yes. Say that again, please.
Allergies are much more common in, for instance, in European countries, northern European countries, than in the traditionally agricultural countries.
Like Africa.
Like in Africa. Yeah. We see a lot more Africans showing and manifesting signs of allergy here in Europe than in Africa.
Yes.
There are theories to it.
Yeah.
One theory is that our immune system is kept busy in Africa. We're fighting viruses, we're fighting infections, and our immune system is busy.
Yeah.
Here, we are kind of protected. Yeah. Our immune system are working, but less infections. So the immune system becomes kind of lazy.
So that's what's going on.
So it begins, when it finds stuff that are in the environment and it gets exposed to them, it may develop allergy memory cells against them.
Yeah.
So we feel that in developing countries, we have a lot more job packaged for our immune system, that they have less time developing allergic reactions or developing cancers.
Wow.
But when we come over here, we have clean services, we have less to do with infections, and we have time to develop these. We also know that children who go to the creches here get to prop up their immune systems very early in life. A child who grows up in a family of 10 or 5 gets exposed much more often than a child who grows up in a one-child family. So his tendency to develop allergic symptoms in the future is higher than a child who has been bombarded, especially at the early years. Now, when you have 5, 10 children, it's difficult when every child gets down with a cold all the time. But on the long term, it is more of a blessing to that child than when he is eventually older. Because he gets to get those things when he's older. He gets to have times that he won't go to work or he won't go to school because he's ill from those. It costs an enormous amount of money every year to treat allergy things, especially at those seasons times when everybody is itching and running and feeling uncomfortable and don't want to go to work because it's tiring to be itching. Your eyes are red. People think, did you drink blood? Stuff like that. But those are the things. Yes, the environment plays significant roles.
That's very good to know. But I like the explanation you gave about, when you transition, you move from one location to the other. Like, if you're exposed to a lot of maybe infected environment, your body begins to work to boost up your resistance. But when you go to a place where you have less diseases, less sicknesses, it's cleaner, then the system becomes lazy. But the question is it possible to wake up the sleeping giant, so to speak, of the immune system? Let's say if I move back to Africa, would I awaken the immune system the way it used to work?
Yes, we can. It's a question of exposure to the environment. I must say, when you look at this, it's a blessing to be born and to be raised in Africa. Because if you compare to, there are some diseases that are autoimmune in nature. Autoimmune means that it is a disease that starts by your own immune system seeing your own normal cells as foreign. We have much more less of those diseases in Africa, and we see much more of those diseases in Europe. Now, if you live in Africa for about 30 years here, we observe that they begin to develop diseases that are peculiar to this environment. So the environment plays a significant role. If you get back to Africa, you still have to relearn. Your body has the memory. It never loses the memory, except for things like malaria, when you need continuous exposure for your resistance to malaria to be up to date.
Okay.
But your body has the memory to it, and it needs exposure. But when we are trying to re-emigrate, we should have gradual exposure and a protected exposure to the allergens. That's the substances that you can be allergic to in the environment, or the disease-causing viruses and bacteria that we left behind in Africa. Unfortunately, they are still there waiting for us to come back.
Well, interesting. Well, let's take a short break and then we'll be back. Listeners, if you have a question for Dr. Ogbuli regarding allergy or anything you're feeling uncomfortable about, which is stirring up reaction in your body, feel free to give us a call on the studio line at 020-737-1619. We'll take a short break now. We're dealing with allergies this morning, and I hope you're learning something. Get to understand your body, how it works, so that if you have some strange symptoms, you can quickly respond or react to it. Get knowledge. So feel free to give us a call. We're waiting for the call.
It's the goddamn black.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
I have a question. I don't know what that question is. You know, I really don't know what I would say, like, oh, this I'm allergic to it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think as a human being, I need to know what I'm allergic to it and what is, good for my system, you know. But I don't have this thing. I don't know. Maybe don't I just maybe eat some kind of food and I just see that maybe my tummy is heavy for a while, then that's all. Then later I'm okay. But like maybe having body rash or something like that, for me, I don't have that feeling. And I want to know that is this any test that maybe I need to do to know what I'm allergic to?
Okay, Doctor, have you understood the question? Okay, go ahead.
If I understand very well, your question is, how do I know if I'm allergic?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very easy to know if you are allergic. One is your own personal observation. That's a very important thing to start from. Two is that if you notice that if you get exposed to particular things, you get a particular type of reaction, and you have built up this pattern over the years, it gives you an indication of what might be the possible factors that you are allergic to. Three is that there is something we call an allergic form, like allergy evaluation form. You may pick it up from your doctor, you can fill it in, and you can send it back to your doctor. He can look at it and be able to tell you, you may be possibly allergic to substance A or substance B. The other part is that we have allergy screening services, and this is very important for treatment, because to be able to comprehensively deal with treatment to allergy, you need to know what you are allergic to. We can actually, by some skin tests or a blood test, be able to identify what you may be allergic to. And the choice of what we test will depend on the information you supply. That's why I said the allergy evaluation form. It's about 4-page information. You can get it up from your doctor. You can fill it in and give it back to him or her.
Yeah, I love to do that. You are my doctor, so I'll be Thank you very much.
You are
interesting. Bye-bye. Keep listening. God bless.
You're patient.
Wow. So you are my doctor. Well, enjoy this short interview that we'll be back shortly.
God, dear, bless me, God, dear, bless me, God, dear, bless me, bless me, oh. Is the God that you bless me, oh. Is the God that you bless me, oh.
To continue the program, Dr. Ogbuli, please tell us what are the treatment and medication possibilities for hay fever? And then, of course, you may take this call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing?
Very well, are you?
Yeah, very interesting.
Thank you. Go ahead, tell us.
I have a problem.
What's the problem?
I'm allergic to shrimps or lobster, people call it.
Shrimps or lobsters? Oh, okay.
They are the same family.
Mm.
You know, that shrimps and lobster, they are very expensive.
Mm.
And when you go to, let's say, a free food like a hotel where you can eat free, then I have advantage to take more.
Yeah.
I love it, but when I take it, I'm in trouble.
Okay.
Is there anything they can do for me so that I can take it in future?
Okay. You love it so much, you don't want to part with it.
But when I take it, then I'm in trouble.
Okay. Does that make sense to you, doctor?
It does. Well, unfortunately for you, you are allergic to seafood. And those things are very delicious, but you cannot always have them. If you have them, it's at a risk to you, to your health.
But how does the allergy show up in this case?
It shows like you have skin rashes, itching skin rashes. You may get stomach pains. You may get a bloated sensation in the abdomen. You may even vomit.
Really?
In very severe forms of food allergy, you may have what we call anaphylaxis reaction. Anaphylaxis is a severe form of allergy manifestation that can involve your respiratory system, your breathing apparatus, or the blood circulation system being compromised.
Really?
It may lead to coma and it may lead to death. That's the severe form of it.
Allergy.
So we need to avoid, especially we see that more often with medications that people are allergic to. We see that sometimes when people have insects, you know, insects have venoms, bees and wasps. Some people are allergic to those things, and they may develop an anaphylaxis reaction that could potentially lead to death. Those things we need to avoid. So my brother, is nice to eat those lobsters, but one of the core basis for managing allergy is to avoid what you are allergic to. If you don't want to do business with the devil, stay out of the shop.
So there's no medication he can take to control the allergic response or reaction?
There's a risk to it that some medications we can give to prevent certain of those specialized cells we call mast cells and basophils from releasing histamine that causes allergic reaction. You can give people those tablets to prevent those things from happening, but they have to take it or be taking it for a long time, or at exposure times. But then it's still a risk.
Yes.
If the body is reacting to something, and we know that that thing it's not really dangerous or poisonous or deadly, and maybe the body just overreacting, like we said in the beginning, why can't we suppress that overreaction of the body so that the person can enjoy him or herself?
Well, we do that. For instance, people with asthma. If we know that asthma attacks are related to physical activity, we give them Ventolin about 30 minutes before being exposed to a physical activity. It keeps the airways open, and they are able to spot for that period. But you have a situation where, for instance, you have a risk of getting anaphylactic reaction.
Really?
You can give the person's medications, but it's always a risk.
There's a risk. Okay.
There's a degree of risk.
So we should respect the body's way of handling, things.
I think our bodies tell us a lot of things. If we sit for a long time without exercise, your body tells you. If you eat too much, your body tells you. And it's good to listen to our bodies.
Yes.
Once in a while, we get to indulge, but we should listen to our bodies.
All right. Let's get back to the treatment of medication for hay fever. Yeah. How can it be treated?
Well, there is actually, let me see, the core is, if you are allergic to something, avoid it. Just like if some people upset you when you're around them, you have a tendency to avoid them.
Absolutely.
It's a social allergy, and you have a social avoidance strategy to it. So one of the ways you can deal with allergy is to avoid coming in contact with things that contain what you are allergic to.
But in a case where you have pollens and springs here.
But for instance, like food cell allergy, we just talked to that gentleman on the telephone. Avoid. There are children who can't take pinda, who can't take soya, who can't take tau in the bread. They have special type of bread that the food industry has prepared. There are versions of things that contain actually low allergen food. So the things that we know people are allergic to, food manufacturers are taking those things off the food so that people who are allergic can eat them.
Enjoy them.
But avoidance is one of the cornerstones.
Yeah.
The other part is that the airborne allergies, just like that gives us pollen in the air at certain points in time. We can't give substances that prevent your cells from releasing histamine that causes these reactions. So we have antihistamine drugs. We have drugs that help to calm the immune system. It's a group of medications we call corticosteroids. Example is prednisone. We have medications like theophylline that help to reduce, prevent the mast cells from releasing their substances. We have medications like sodium chromoglycates that actually help to stabilize those cells and prevent them from releasing histamine. We have people with stuffy nose, we give them nose sprays like decongestants. They are anticholinergic kind of drugs. These are things that we have available to control symptoms or control the cells from reacting when you are exposed to those things. Now, if your problem is seasonal, we target your treatment around the season. If you have, for instance, all year round exposure to the house stuff mite, you got a problem.
House stuff mite, you mean the thing in the mattress?
Then we have to deal with your mattress.
How is that going to be done? You have to change your mattress or spray it or what?
There are special covers that you can put on the mattress. For instance, the rug in the house, those things can live in the rug. If you are allergic to skin extracts from cats or dogs, we say, don't take a dog, don't take a cat. Because you are allergic to those things. But the rug on the floor, you need to change it to vinyl, the rubber type of things, or to tiles. Those things don't store the stuff that you're allergic to. You need to ventilate your house properly. Most houses have a ventilation system. In Africa, we're blessed. You can open the window all day long, except when it's raining or when it's night. Put mosquito nets there so that you don't get malaria. But here, most houses are built with ventilation nets. You can keep them open and ventilate the house properly. Those are some of the things that reduce allergy. We have special covering for mattresses. So
if somebody wants to get which type, could you mention the type so they know which type to get?
There are various types. I won't advertise for the manufacturers. If you go to if you go to your doctor or to the allergy consultant, they will tell you that there are special mattress covers that would help to you put it over your mattress, much like a bed sheet, and it will prevent you coming in contact with the droppings from the hard stuff.
Amazing, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. This is it awesome. Possible to be completely immune to, say, hay fever?
Yes, and that's the last portion of treatment. It's actually possible to do what we call immunotherapy. Now, we know that your immune system is reacting to certain substances. But we know that if we systematically expose the person to the substance that they are allergic to, at some point in time, a compromise is developed between the body and those things. You actually dilute the body's ability to respond to those things by exposing the individual over a period of 2-3 years to the stuff that they are allergic to, but at very small concentrations. One of the ones we use they are injectable forms. People use them a lot in America. It's Puretal products. For everything, most things you are allergic to, there are products that have been made, especially the seasonal things like the pollens that come at seasons, like hay fever, give you hay fever, or allergic conjunctivitis. There are also grasses. Also comes in the form of, it's also called Oragen. Depending on what you are allergic to, you can take those ones under the tongue every day. And if your body can tolerate it for the next 2-3 years, at the end of the day, you have been desensitized to that particular substance that you are allergic to. In that sense, we can say, yes, we can either significantly reduce your reaction, or we can cure you completely from that particular allergy that you have. That's actually the type that most European countries are using at the moment.
Does that hold for every kind of allergy or some specific types of allergy?
The development is on, but most often now they have, for the most common allergies, especially the airborne allergies, or the house dust mite, they have medications for those ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, we are around out of time. Is there any you have any final remark for our listeners? Anything you want to say? Or you may answer the question, does hay fever give complications with other respiratory conditions?
Well, this hay fever, in effect, not really, because but the symptoms are really disturbing. The cost is prohibitive. It goes to about millions every year in treating hay fever and the symptoms related to it. The immunotherapy is very expensive for 2 years. I think for about a month, you'd be spending about 300 euros to treat them. So if you have a health insurance, you have an advantage to treat them. But the cost to the individual, itching eyes, red eyes, tiredness, stuffy nose, the impact on the quality of life is enormous. So there is, if you would call that a complication to the individual, yes, there is. The other part is that the ones that have influence on the airways for people with asthma could be pretty nasty. Asthma attacks are not nice. People are short of breath, and if they are not properly treated, they may die when they have an asthma attack. So it's good to avoid those things, and the treatment can be multi-phased. You can treat the allergies, you can treat the airways problem, but you can also focus on particular treatment geared towards allergies, the particular stuff that people are allergic to. Immunotherapy. But yeah, complications, anaphylaxis is not a nice thing because people can die in the process. We do have things to recoup when there's a tendency to collapse of the respiratory system or the blood circulation system. But these are things, the core And the best gain is still to avoid coming in contact with what you're allergic to, or finding ways to avoid or reduce the cost to you socially and financially.
Thank you
Wow.
so very much. We'll enjoy this interview. Listeners, thank you for being a part of the show and tuning in. And we hope to bring the Ogbuli back next time. In the meantime, just stay tuned. We'll bring it to you the news, and then also our legal segment later on. So please stay tuned. We'll be back shortly.